Right, so today...
Oh, sorry, I was eating. Classic.
Outtakes. Okay. So today we are filming with Ffion.
Hello.
Who has been on a very big journey herself with Rhi-Form, and we are going to talk today about her own journey, but also the transformation of going from client to coach. So she's now working on Rhi-Form, which is super exciting. So we're literally just going to have a chat about Fion's journey, what she's experienced, how she can now help other females that were in a similar situation to her, and what she brings to Rhi-Form, basically. Plus, we are joined by breakfast, obviously.
This is an example of habit stacking.
Yeah,
so
interview.
when you've got limited time, it's really good to do two things at once. That's the top tip that we give all the ladies. And also, we can't sit in front of these and not eat them because they look insane.
Yeah, so you're joining us for breakfast, basically.
Welcome.
So, Ffion, like, where did you start? Like, where were you at a year ago today, and how did this journey start for you?
So, a year ago, I was really overweight, and it was kind of like the second lockdown 2.0, and everyone wasn't in a great place, but it was January, and it was like horrible, and everyone's kind of like overweight and bloated from Christmas, but I was just overweight and bloated in general life. And just really unhappy with everything that was going on. So like my health, my mental health, well-being, the activities that I could do, like I couldn't do stuff. And I think I just got to a point where I was recycling 2 outfits over the whole of the Christmas holidays, and I was like, this needs to stop. I cannot just wear leggings and like a baggy, oversized jumper forever.
Yeah. How did you feel? Like, before you started like Rhi-Form and before you started your own journey and like looking after yourself, how did you genuinely feel?
It was awful. I'm really tired, really achy. So I was living on coffee, but because I had no energy, so like coffee and Coke, 0 all the time. And then because I was making poor choices because I was tired. So I'd be like, oh, I'm too tired to cook. Oh, I'm too tired to go food shopping. So then I would make poor choices, like have a takeaway for ease. But then that was contributing to how I was feeling. So it's like a vicious cycle. And
it's so difficult to jump out of that cycle. That's the thing, is
because you don't realise, I don't think, that what you're putting into your body is contributing to how you feel and why you feel that way. Like I was like, oh, I'm tired because I've got a little boy and I run around after him, or oh, I'm tired because I get up early for work. But actually,
it's like you make excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And I would always say, I haven't got time for the gym.
Yeah.
I haven't got time to exercise.
Yeah.
I haven't got time to get my steps in. I haven't got time to cook and eat healthily.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the biggest things that I've learned, is that healthy food or nutritious food does not have to take a long time.
Yeah. I mean, we've proved that this weekend. It's coming. Okay. So, in terms of your journey with Rhi-Form, tell us a bit about that. How's it been for you?
So, I started in the January with the 30-day challenge, and I really loved it. And I think I was seeing really good results super quickly because I was very overweight and because I'd never done anything like this before, and I was giving it 100%.
Yeah.
So I started to see the results, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I need to think about whether I can afford to actually do this after the 30 days. Then I won a month's free coaching with you because you did a giveaway.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll do the month, I'll get every little bit of information that I can, and then I'll go it alone. Then halfway through the month, I was like, okay, I really need to see the minimum contract with Rhi because I need to carry on doing it. And then every time I got to a point where I was like, I need to stop, I was like, I'm not ready to stop because I'm not where. New goals all the time. And like, because I think you do everything very like, let's just focus on kind of the next steps. Let's not look at what we're going to try and aim for at the end. Let's take it step by step.
Yeah.
And I think every time we took a step by step, I was like, oh, I want to get to the next step now.
Yeah.
And then a biggie for me was the photo shoot. So we did the photo shoot with Ben Mark, and I was like, after the photo shoot, I'll stop, and because that'll be fine. And then we went to maintenance, and I was like, oh God, this is hard. I need help with this. Like, it's like you taught me everything about dieting down.
Yeah. We got through that.
But maintenance is like a completely different ball game. So I was like, right. And now I'm still here and probably will just stay with you forever. And you're like, I really need you to fly the nest. Like, I need you to learn how to live without a coach. I'm like, sorry, can't do that.
Stuck with me. So tell everyone how much weight you've lost, because this is just absolutely incredible.
I've lost 5.5 stone.
Which is insane.
So
in 12 months.
Yeah.
Like 5.5 stone in 12 months.
And I've been in maintenance then since November. Yeah. So I've managed to maintain over the Christmas period and then into January.
Incredible in itself, because that's tough. That is hard, and that's, you know, a big thing to be able to do that.
Not gonna lie, there's been many a scale fluctuation. But I think having the accountability means that, like, if there is a scale fluctuation, you're going, right, this is exactly what we need to do to get where we need to be. And it very quickly, because you know so much from the coaching, you very quickly can get yourself back.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I would have been like, oh, Christmas Day has rolled into Boxing Day, has rolled into New Year, has rolled into January.
Yeah.
Or I'd be in January like having a salad and nothing else and crying and going, oh, I need to lose all this weight. And actually,
that's actually really important.
There's been no restriction over Christmas. I've just managed it so much better.
And you haven't dieted in January. And would you say like that's one of the first times?
Yeah,
that you've
100%.
not had to diet in January. Yeah. That's amazing.
Remember last January, I'm still dieting in January, every January.
Yeah. So, how has this whole journey, the weight that you've lost, the habits that you've created for yourself, how has this had an impact on your life?
I'm literally a different person, not just like clothes-wise, because I have been this weight before. I was this weight when I got married.
Yeah.
But because of like weight training and habits and stuff, my body is completely different. I have never been in shape like this. So although I've been this weight before, I've never been confident enough to wear clothes with no sleeves.
Yeah.
Been confident enough to wear a crop top to sit down and eat or go to the gym or go out of the house. Never been confident enough to wear shorts. So like in terms of how I look like a different person. In terms of like as a parent, I can go in soft play, I can keep up with Oscar. You know, I've got all the energy, the same energy as him to match it.
Yeah.
And like if you've got kids, you know what 4-year-olds are like. Like they would run on 2 hours sleep and run on nothing and they'd still outrun you, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then I think as a person, like mentally, my confidence has changed, my well-being, had so many things happen this year. And I've said like 100 times to Rich, like my husband, we wouldn't be able to manage all this stuff if I hadn't have signed up with Rhi, because I wouldn't have had the mental capacity to do it. Yeah. And I think just like so many life skills that have come from it, like time management and pushing yourself and believing in yourself, it sounds really cheesy, but you get the whole package. It's not just about
exercise.
I'm going to tell you how many calories to eat and give you some workouts and then you're going to sort everything out. Like it's a whole process and a whole thing. Yeah. I think the amount of time that we've worked together is a credit to that, because I think I wasn't ready to leave you after 2 months. I wasn't ready to leave you after 6 months. Yeah. I'm still not ready to leave you after 12 months because it's like a constant thing.
I think for you, the weight loss journey took long. Like it took a while because you had so much weight to lose. So then we got you to the point where you wanted to get to. We dropped so much body fat, so much weight, and we did it in a really healthy time frame that was manageable and achievable for you. You still went to social events, you still enjoyed yourself, still had takeaways occasionally. Like we managed it all. And then
if you can't do it alongside life, you're just sad.
Oh yeah,
like you're just
100%.
Unhappy,
and you'll fall off track. But then you hit maintenance, and maintenance is not just a week or a month or 2 months. It is 3 months minimum, absolute minimum.
Yeah.
If you've got good habits there already, but it's 6 months ideally. Ideally, you need 6 months to hit that successful maintenance phase, to go it alone, to not track your food daily.
Yeah, because it's hard. When you've done something for a long time, it's hard to come away from tracking, even though you know it.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to not be in a restriction. Because like your maintenance calories can go quite high, and then you think you're like, oh, I can have this and I can have that, and actually you really still need to be mindful about it. But like I said to you, it's easier to be on, I don't know, 1,400 calories because you know exactly what you've got to play with. You know exactly what you can eat for the day. You can't go out of that. Whereas when you're given calories to play with, you're like, oh, what can I have? What can I do? So I think it's easier to fall off the wagon in a maintenance phase.
100%. And I think as well, it's really important to talk about your photo shoot with Denmark. Was you had dropped all this weight, you felt good, but you walked into that shoot oblivious of how incredible you actually looked. You walked into it just thinking, you were slim, you fit into the clothes you wanted to fit into, your hair looked good, your makeup looked good.
I was like, does my hair look okay? That was the main thing I was bothered about.
But you didn't know that you had abs. You didn't know that you had muscles in your back. Like, you literally did not know until you saw yourself on the other side of the camera.
It was hilarious.
You had no idea.
Because Ben literally went, like, so blasé. Right. I can see that you've got abs, so what we need to do is we need to do this. And I was like, sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, what? He was like, abs? Yeah, I can see you've got abs, so we need to showcase those. And I was like, what?
You had no idea.
I had no idea. And it's not being dramatic, it's just that you don't see yourself like that when you look at yourself every day, but you also, you're never in a position where someone is saying, stand like this, put your leg forward, lean back, do this, to get you to showcase that. Yeah. So I've never just like stand around the house like that, so I had no idea.
Now you do.
Well, now I do, yeah, now I'm just like, but, it's, until someone professional points that out to you.
Yeah, and I think it's not only that, I think it's genuinely seeing yourself from somebody else's eyes. Like, looking through a lens at yourself is completely different to how you would look at yourself in the mirror.
I kept saying,
how you see yourself day to day.
I genuinely kept saying, I don't know who that is, because I didn't recognise that person. Yeah. Like, I was like, I don't know who that is. That's like someone I look at on Instagram and go, oh, I like that top. I wonder where that's from. Oh, she looks great. And then I was like, oh my God, that's me. Yeah. So, and I think it takes people a while to get to a point where they can do that. And I said this to you earlier, because we've been like filming and taking videos and pictures. Like, I used to be really self-conscious about like my arms and like my underarms here and my arms, and like even when I got married and I felt like amazing, I still had a wedding dress that had like short sleeves, and to go to the photo shoot and literally have crop top, sports bra, arms out the whole time,
underwear,
because I just felt like I don't have those hang-ups now because of the confidence I have. Like, my arms are still bigger than most people's arms, but they're toned, and then, there's definition. And when you've got hang-ups, it's really hard to not see them. But then when we did the photo shoot, I just couldn't see anything but positives. And
that's just so incredible.
And then I can sit there now and like try and like nitpick and go, oh yeah, like I wish that bit looked like this. But to look at the photos and go, I'm so happy with those photos. Yeah. Coming from a world where people take photos everywhere, and like, and even now, I was like,
that there is no filter on those photos.
No,
nothing. That is you. Yeah, literally standing there in your pants with someone telling you how to pose. Yeah, to take your photos.
And even now, like, I'm like, when I'm saying to you, like, oh, I'm not bothered. I'm not gonna. Like, I don't need makeup on to go to the gym, or let's just take a selfie like out with no makeup on, or not brush my hair, because I just
like today.
I'm happy. I'm like happy and confident in the way I naturally am, and it's really like invigorating way to be. It's a really nice, positive way to be, because I came from feeling so uncomfortable that everything was over-filtered, everything was cropped so you couldn't see my arm or I was always saying, can you stand that side of me? Can you stand in front of me? Like literally go, I'll go to the back of this photo.
But that's mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
Like mentally exhausting. So obviously you've gone through this whole process, you've seen yourself in a different light, you are literally a new person. Like you're still there, but you're a new person with the confidence that you've got. And now you've come on board as Rhi-Form accountability coach. Which is like a huge thing, because for me, like Rhi-Form is my second baby. So putting trust into somebody else to, you know, go and do bits of my business was really difficult. But actually, when it came to thinking about who it was going to be, it was a no-brainer, because I genuinely, we've obviously put so much time into your own transformation. You've like been so disciplined. You've done everything. You've gone through every process. And I think you've been such a relatable person from the beginning, for not only me, but for so many other women that are on Rhi-Form and not on Rhi-Form, just women out there, that for me, it was just like you were almost the walking advert of Rhi-Form.
Hooray!
So now, like, obviously, you come on board as the accountability coach. You help out a lot with, you know, the other ladies that we have. Like, what I guess, what does Rhi-Form mean to you?
It sounds really cheesy, but it just means everything, because I'm so passionate about it. And actually, I think it's important that people know, like, you didn't reach out to me. I said to you, I'm like, because I'd said to you, I'm gonna stop coaching when I've done a year, and then I said to you, like, I don't know how to not be involved in Rhi-Form. Like, I think about not being involved
and that was
in the whole thing. And it breaks my heart, like, to not be involved. And you were like, oh my God, you're literally answering my prayers. This is my dream. I've rung Patrick and told him what you've just said before I've spoken to you, because it was a very mutual thing. And I just didn't want to not be part of it. Like, when I thought about not being part of the community, or not being on like the Facebook group, or not being on the challenges, I was like,
what am I going to do?
Yeah, what am I going to do?
I think it's that community feel though as well, isn't it? It's like, it's not just me and you. It's not just when you were a client, which you still are, but you know, when you were just the client, like, it wasn't just me and you. Like, you've got the support of everybody else in this community.
And it really means everything to me, because I think, because I've been with you from the very start, and seen it grow, and seen how many people you can help, and the results that they can get, and the changes that people can make. It's such a lovely feeling. And it's like, in my day job, if you like, as a teacher, you see children make those changes or learn something new, and that is the most rewarding part of it. And it's like doing that for adults. It's literally like doing the bit of my job I love, doing it as another job. It's so good.
And so, like, this is a big question, I suppose, but what do you feel that you can give, or, you know, how you can support the ladies that are currently in Rhi-Form, or, you know, ladies who come into Rhi-Form?
I think, because, like you said, it's relatable, because you can see my journey, and it's not that you've brought someone on board who's not been with you. Like, I've literally lived it. So when I'm doing calls with ladies, I'll be like, I know Rhi will have said this to you. Like, I know exactly what she will have said to you, because she said it to me. Or, you know, I've been there and this is what I did. So you can give those first-hand experiences. Also, like, even when I was just a client, everyone would always say, like, what have you made to eat? Like, how have you managed to get that into your macros? What have you done? So I think, like, I bring the food 100%. Creativity to the group.
Queen of food. Dieting food, maintenance food, delicious food, fakeaways, like food. Ffion is like the queen.
Everyone's just like, how have you done that? You're so creative. I can't even think how you would have done that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just do it. It tastes great.
I genuinely think my nutritional advice, like I have the education there, I have the knowledge, I know what I'm doing with nutrition, and I know what I need to, you know, educate other females on. But the nutritional guidance that our clients get would not be the same without you. It genuinely wouldn't, because the creations are just, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I go through a dieting phase, I'm excited because I'm like, I can still eat so much. I can still eat, you know, the foods that I love. And that mainly is down to your creative mind.
And it's like people go, oh, you've had this, it looks amazing. And I'll be like, yeah, it took 5 minutes to make. And you're like, sure. But I think that I'm angry at like past me for being like, it's really difficult to be healthy. It's so difficult to find time to cook, etc., because I don't spend time making food. Yeah. Like, I don't have time to spend an hour making a meal, so I never do it.
I think that's the problem though with, you know, so many people, is that they truly believe they have to spend hours in the kitchen. They have to make different food for their kids, different food for their husband, different food for them, and it's just too time consuming. But it's such an eye-opening experience to then be like, oh my God, I never knew that I could still fit these things in, and, you know, create some new recipes which literally take 5 to 10 minutes in the kitchen, and you can bulk make and it will be ready, you know, for the next day and the day after. And I think that's what's so eye-opening about it as well, is that experience of just being like, actually this does fit into my life. Like, it doesn't take extra time. It just supports what I'm doing already.
100%.
Okay, so I guess wrapping this up, like, what are your goals going forwards? What do you want to achieve?
I want to continue, because now I think I've got a real passion for like being in the gym and weights and resistance training. Like, I really want to get really strong and like hit really high weights in the gym, because that for me is a way to like push myself physically. And then I just want to continue to work alongside you to grow the business, and to just reach out to as many people as possible and share what I now know. Because I'm so like, I'll find myself talking about it to people and going, I'm sorry, this is boring. Like, I set up a separate Instagram because I thought I don't want to bore people with Rhi-Form, and then everyone, like so many people from my personal Instagram, like moved over to follow me, and I was like, oh, maybe you weren't bored then. Maybe you were just enjoying it and I shouldn't have moved it. But you know, people will always say to me like, oh, I love watching you do this, or I love like you putting your food on and stuff, whereas I'm like, oh, that must be boring for people. Potentially it's not, and
it's inspiring. I think that's it. It's because people have seen your transformation, they've seen where you've come from to where you're at now, and they're like, I want that.
So I want to continue to share that knowledge, because I don't think it should be a secret, and I feel like no one told me. I'm sure people did, but I feel like now, thinking back, I'm like, why did no one tell me? Why did no one tell me that the way forward wasn't just salad? Like, why did Slimming World tell me to not go to the gym because you would gain weight? When that's like completely, like, why would Slimming World tell you to either eat a curly whirly or an avocado? Like, because they're the same value of nutrition and nutrition. Well, they're not, are they?
Well,
So, you know, but, you know, I do feel like this way of life was kept a little bit secret from me, and now I just don't want people to feel like that. Because the more people you speak to, the more people are like, oh yeah, I've always had high protein stuff, and I'm like, well, you look great. Why did I not know this before? Or someone's like, oh yeah, I love the grenade bars, and I'm like, do you? Why did you never say? I love grenade bars too. So yeah, I think, you know, I just think you need to share as much information as possible and educate people, because I feel genuinely privileged to have that education now, and like to have that knowledge that you know and can go forward with me,
and it's something that you can take into, like, you know, your future and like your kids and whatever. Like, you can now go on to educate so many other people. And it's not just a female thing, like, it is for males as well. It's just we specialise in females, so that's what we do. But yeah, like, your journey's been incredible, and I think everybody's seen it. Like, you've been posted in your pants everywhere.
I'm literally in my pants, so more than I am at home, like on the internet.
But yeah, like it's a pleasure to have you on the Rhi-Form
Thanks.
wagon.
It's a pleasure to be on the wagon.
And that's a wrap.